How to make all-natural homemade cupcake bites that your dog will go crazy over. For the ingredients for the cupcake portion of this recipe, you will need flour, eggs, oats, peanut butter, and a banana. First thing we are going to do is add a banana to a medium-sized bowl. Next, we are going to add 1 egg to the bowl. We chose to use farm fresh eggs from Trader Joe's that are additive and hormone free. Next, you want to add 1/2 cup of organic oats. We chose the oats from Trader Joe's just because there are no additives added to these oats, and we wanted to make sure that Pepper's getting the best ingredients in her treats. Next, you want to add 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Finally, you want to add 1/3 cup of peanut butter. We had Jifs at home. Normally, we would like to use an organic peanut butter, but super expensive, and we know that this peanut butter does not affect Pepper's stomach. We had to take a quick break once the peanut butter came out to make sure the pretty girl got what she needed. Next thing you want to do is mix everything together. I tried it first with a fork, but then I switched over to my hands. It is super sticky, but you kind of want to use like a kneading motion, and you want to get all those ingredients mixed good together. While I was doing that, we lined up all the cupcake tins. This recipe makes about 12 cupcakes. Now comes the most tedious part of the recipe. We fill up our cupcake tins. We choose to fill them up about a quarter of the way just because these cupcakes are a little bit bigger and we want to make it easier for Pepper to chew. We take this time to flatten them in just to make sure that they're going to be able to cook evenly throughout. Now it is time to put it in the oven. We set the oven to 300 degrees and these will cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. While they are cooking, it is time to get the frosting together. You will need cornstarch, maple syrup, and Greek yogurt. First, you want to add a 1/2 cup of yogurt. We chose a plain Greek yogurt from Trader Joe's just because it doesn't have those added preservatives. Next, you want to add a 1/3 cup of cornstarch. We chose the non-GMO version just because, again, we don't want to add all that extra stuff in. Finally, you want to add a tablespoon of maple syrup. Super simple, organic maple syrup. Want to make sure it doesn't have those extra sugars in it. Now we are going to mix this all together. We used a little bit more of the wheat flour to thicken it up. We probably still did not use enough, but it still made it a little bit thicker. By the time you are done with that, the bottom part of the cupcake should be done. They should be a little golden brown on the top. Next comes the icing time. We used a normal piping bag to do this. We started off with a little bit on the top, but then we decided to add a little bit more as we went on. We were debating it back and forth here about how much we should put on, but we decided on putting on a generous amount on each one, and Pepper loves it. Here is a time lapse of us putting the icing on the rest of the cupcakes. Again, we went with that generous amount, but it is completely fine because these are all organic products. Now it is time for the most important part, the taste test. Pepper absolutely loves these. This one was a little bit too big for her though. Here is what they should look like. They are lightly golden brown and the frosting is not too thick. We like to cut ours up into quarter size just because they're easier for Pepper to chew and easier to handle. Thank you for watching, considering subscribing if you want to see more like this, and comment below if you're going to try this recipe.